In today's gaming news, Rift goes free to play, Project Spark lets you make your own game, and CD Projekt Red hates DRM but will still release Witcher 3 on the Xbox One. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is Thursday, June the 13th, and my name is Force, here with your day's gaming news. First up today, the fantasy-based MMORPG Rift is now available to play for free. Rift was one of the last remaining subscription-based MMOs on the market, but as of today has joined the free-to-play masses. You can now download the game for free and enjoy it in its entirety with no content or level restrictions. Players who do choose to pay a subscription fee will be granted improved login rewards, weekly chests, a Rift store discount, daily summons, improved mount speed, and more. It seems like Trion has hit the two key points in making their game free to play. Number one, there's no content restrictions. You can play from the first to the max level and go through all of the game's content without having to pay any sort of a fee. And number two, the game isn't going to be pay to win. Apparently, all of the best items in the game only drop in the game itself. It's nothing that you can purchase through the in-game store. So if you haven't tried out Rift before, now's the perfect time for you to dive in. It seems like a fairly interesting game, and the little I played of it I did enjoy. It also seems to have a fairly loyal fan base, which of course speaks well to the game's quality itself. Next up in news, I wanted to talk about one of the games that got me excited the most so far at E3 this week, and that is Project Spark, a game that might turn you into a video game developer. Project Spark was first shown during Microsoft's E3 press conference this Monday and has created quite a buzz. The game itself is less of a game and more of a set of tools that simplify the game-making process. Players, or developers rather, can choose from a structured or sandbox mode, which will allow them to make pretty much anything from strategy, RPG, and action games to first-person shooters. Although this isn't an actual game, but rather a set of tools that let you make games, it seems like this could be a stepping stone for a lot of people into video game development, and it's one of the reasons that I'm really excited, because I've always been interested in developing a video game. I don't have the required skills or tools, but this could be a nice segue into doing something along those lines, although I guess I'll have to purchase the next Xbox in order to do so. We'll see about that. And next up in news today, speaking of the next Xbox, I wanted to talk about CD Projekt Red, a developer who has traditionally been very against DRM. However, despite their policies in the past, their upcoming game The Witcher 3 is still coming to the Xbox One. The developer, known for being very against the modern trend of DRM in games, has said that despite Microsoft's policies, The Witcher 3 is still coming to Xbox One. In response to community backlash of fans saying the game should not launch on Microsoft's console, CD Projekt co-founder Martin Owinski said, "We couldn't simply not release The Witcher 3 on Xbox One. We want to make sure that every single player will have access to our game, and thus decided to deliver for PC, PS4, and Xbox One." What a bunch of two-faced pricks, is what some people have been saying. I personally don't feel that way about them, and I'd like to explain why. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, if you're actually against DRM, CD Projekt Red, then why would you release your next game on a system that's very focused on DRM? Well, the reason is that at the end of the day, they're still a business and they need to make money. Now, if you actually care about CD Projekt Red and the games that they make, aka the Witcher series, you'll want them to stay in business. And in order to do so, I'm not saying that if they didn't release on the Xbox One, they would just sink, but they would make a lot less money, and in turn that would take away from the future development of their upcoming games. So I guess it really comes down to what is more important to you. Do you really care that much about DRM? And if you're one of the people who won't have access to the Xbox One because of these policies, I certainly understand why. Or do you care about CD Projekt Red continuing to make high-quality games with a budget that they can afford, which, again, the budget's only going to be higher if they sell more copies. Now, apparently, if you're looking from the developer's viewpoint, they clearly care more about staying in business than they do about their anti-DRM policies in the past. That's just where they stand, evidently. And my opinion is good for them. I want them to continue to make quality games, and if they have to release on the Xbox One to make games of high a quality as they have in the past, then so be it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. So once again, it comes down to the simple fact that as a business, they care more about the almighty dollar. I mean, heck, I care about the almighty dollar. This is actually the only dollar that I have. Please watch more of my videos.